Yo, yo, yo. What's up, gang? Today I want to talk about mastering the art of sales process. So I've had a few deep dive conversations today with key network and potential clients and actual clients. And one of the topics, I guess, of today and why I want to talk about this is around the sales up process and why I believe personally this is one of the things that's most crucial and critical in the sales process, but it's also the one thing that's also missed the most or not actioned essentially at all. So I guess there's some stigma around sales, the word sales, and there's some stigma around, I guess, what does sales look like, and apologize in advance for the car salespeople out there and the real estate agents. They obviously get a bad name and bad rap in this situation because they're always what seems to be pestering people, trying to close a deal. Essentially, they've just got a really refined sales process that works. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in business. And I think because of the stigma, everyone else in let's call it the traditional business world uh, doesn't. They don't want to be seen like that, and so they just don't put a sales process in place. I'm not going to dive into the actual sales process today. I want to dive into one aspect of the sales process, which is the sales follow up. And why I say this is one of the most crucial parts, in my belief, that is missing or not done at all, not done properly, is because I see it. I see it day in, day out. I see that businesses just don't actively do this. And I actually see it on the forefront where I've requested, like I'm going through the journey myself, I requested a proposal or a quote from someone, and I just sit there and I wait a day, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I just wait and I'm still waiting. No email, no phone call, still waiting. And so I guess I do it on purpose because I heavily believe in building a really good sales process, but I want to see what it's like on the other end. So when you're a customer wanting to buy a product or a service, you typically want to be informed, you want to be educated, and essentially you want to make a purchase. If the person selling you that product or service isn't helping you through the journey, isn't educating you, isn't taking you on a bit of a storyline, then there's going to be a disconnect. And I think that's where a lot of people misconception happens around the sales process in general, but especially around the sales follow up. So the things I love about the sales process, and this happened today, just I'll give you a live example, is it keeps the conversation going. What I mean by that, it keeps you top of mind about your product or your service, and it just allows the relationship to build more strongly because you got a consistency around that conversation. Whether it's today, in 3 days, in a week, in 2 months, in 5 months, there's that consistency in conversation that happens, which I think is amazing. It addresses any hesitation. So what I mean by hesitations is um, I think we tell ourselves stories, and what I mean by we is when we're selling our service to someone, if someone's not buying from, we tell ourselves stories on why they're not buying. And so, what we're thinking versus what's actually happening usually is two different worlds apart. And so, this addresses the hesitation conversation. It means that you can just be clear, concise, direct. What's stopping you from moving forward? Answer any of the questions they might have, and they might be genuine cash flow problems. Sweet. All right, I'll contact you in 6 or 12 months when the cash flow sorted out. Or, hey, my team dynamics is not right yet, so I can't buy a product or service. Great. I'll contact you once that's sorted out. So there's always these hesitations and questions that need to be answered to clear all those doubts. And I think if we just sit there and wait, we're always just waiting. And I think that's one thing that we need to keep in mind is that people always have stuff going on in their business as well as you do in your business. So there's a two-way. There's two stories to tell. But the thing I love about the sales follow-up process and what's absolutely crucial is it increases conversion rates. Like it's 9 times out of 10, if you put a process in place to regularly follow up with people within a day, 3 days, a week, 2 weeks, 5 weeks, 3 months, you will double, triple, quadruple your sales overnight by just putting a process in place for follow-ups. Why I say this and why there's a hesitation around negative connotation around salespeople, like car salespeople or real estate agents, is because you don't want to be that needy person. You don't want to be seen as a salesperson, right? But when you're buying a product or service from someone, and you should put your hat on, and next time you're buying a product or service, you want someone to educate you, to take you on a journey, and take you through the process of why you should buy that. Think about going out for dinner. Do you sit there and wait for someone to come and essentially take your order? Of course you do. And if they take too long to take your order, you get annoyed. It's the same process in business. I don't know why people don't use analogy more often. If you're sitting around waiting for someone to take your order because you actually want it, it's going to annoy you. You're going to go somewhere else. So flip that around. If you're the one selling your service to a customer, then same scenario. The person on the other end, they want to buy your product or service. Otherwise, they wouldn't have even reached out in the first place. So the more proactive you are, the better conversion rate you're going to have. Absolute no-brainer. The effective sales follow-up strategies I've seen, the good and bad and the ugly over time, is if you wait too long, you literally will lead that customer to buy from your competitor. Absolute no doubt. So you got to make sure you've got that the timing right. And that's why you got to work out in your organization, your business, what suits your industry. It doesn't, one size doesn't fit all. You can kind of get a generalist approach, but figure out what timing is good. Is it a weekly? Is it a monthly? Is it a quarterly follow-up? Just work out what fits for your business. You got to really personalize it. Why is that customer coming to you in the first place? What are they buying from you? And tailor your messaging that interests that organization. Maybe some insights, some industry knowledge, some expertise. Make it really personalized to them, because it's all about education. You're not actually selling, you're educating and providing a solution to a problem that they have. Every time you have what we call touch points, every time there's a touch point, it could be a conversation, it could be an email, it could be a newsletter, or it could be a phone call. You always want to provide value. And so that value doesn't just help you in that sale, it also helps you to educate them on exactly what you do and how you do it. And then they have networks and they have people they talk to. So it also educates them as well, because they'll be talking about their day, their business, what's going on in life. And so it's really good to always add value. Could be case studies, it could be articles, it could be information, anything to help them make a decision and to tell their networks. And I think this is the flip conversation. My last point is around being really polite. I don't like using the word sales because of that negative connotation, but you want to be seen as being an educator, being a storyteller, taking someone on a journey and helping them buy from you, because they want to buy from you. Otherwise, they wouldn't have engaged from you in the first place. So be really polite, but just be persistently polite, and always realize there's two stories to tell: why they're coming to you in the first place versus what you're trying to deliver, and make sure there's alignment there. So yeah, it happened today. Exactly the same scenario. I phoned a potential client that I've been working on for about a month, helping them decide what the best steps are for their business before they engage with us. And literally the conversation was, oh yeah, I've been thinking about this. I was wondering when I was going to hear from you, because the last time I had spoken to them, they said, yeah, leave it with us, we'll get back to you. And that was, last week. And then when I spoke to them today, like, oh yeah, I was wondering when you're going to email me or call me, because they were expecting me to get back to them, even though they told me they were going to get back to me. In their mind, they're waiting for me to get back to them. So you just never know what's happening in the situation at that point in time. So anyway, that's my 2 cents for today. Sales follow-up is absolute key. Put it into your process. Don't be a dick, and don't go from nothing to everything and become that sleazy salesperson. But just do it really nice. Nurture. Consistency is key, and you will definitely increase your conversion rate by 10 times within a few months by just practicing this little technique. All right, guys. Cheers.